Are we on? Can you hear me yet? No, it's okay. 21 seconds to go according to that. Let me just minimize that. You'll hear me in a second probably. Okay, I'll get everything ready. I've got my mic switched on. Everything is ready to go. Tell us when, no. Off we go! Hello, this is Alex the DJ Plaggy Bag. Welcome to our third programme coming up to the Great North Run. This is collecting for cash for kids this week. Well, we have been for the past 3 weeks, haven't we, Michelle? Let me introduce to you Michelle as well. Here's Michelle. And she's going to be helping with us on the Facebook page.
Hello everyone.
So on the Facebook page today, if you're going to be going on the Night Owls Facebook page, do leave as many comments as you can. Let us know that you're there. It's always good to know people are listening. Now, we did have quite a few listeners last week. How many did we have last week, Michelle? She's not sure. I'll tell you, it was 35. I think that was the lowest we've ever had, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
It's nice to know we're getting popular. So you're listening to the more... No, you're not. You're listening to the least listened to. Hey, but we're planning... I mean, we have advertised a little bit better this week, so we're expecting to get a few more listeners this week. We do need to raise money for Cash for Kids. So far, we've raised £30 for Cash for Kids, but we do need to raise a little bit more. I'm going to be doing the 10-mile Jelly Road race over the next... on Sunday. Is that this Sunday I'm doing the Jelly Road race?
Pardon?
I'm doing the Jelly Road race this Sunday, is that right?
Yes, you are.
Oh, excellent. Can you hear we're broadcasting here, by the way?
Yes, I did.
Oh, yeah. Michelle is here. She's got her earphones on and she's trying to listen to make sure that we are broadcasting loud and queer. So, queer? Loud and queer. Oh, look at the muck. Now, so we are broadcasting loud and clear, so we can tell you all about what we're going to be doing. This is all about charity. If you can donate to Cash for Kids, please go on to our Plessy Castle page, which you're probably already on if you're listening to it. You can click on the link that'll take you straight through to the Just Giving page where you can donate as much as you like to Cash for Kids through that. We'll be able to tell you how much we've raised at the end of the show. Now, last week it was £30. We are hoping to raise by the end of the week £100. But if you can donate tonight, that'd be great, because this is going to be our last broadcast before the Great North Run, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Because next week I have a disco, so I will be at work. But we are doing. This is the final show, so this Sunday I will be in Hexham. I'm doing the 10-mile Jelly Road race from Hexham to Ovingham, and that's going to be the first run I do, and that's going to be followed on the Sunday after, on the 7th, the Great North Run, which I'll be doing from Newcastle to South Shields. In total, that's going to be 23.5 miles. Doing that for Cash for Kids, which is a great charity. It helps underprivileged children in the area. So if you can donate to that, that would be great. It would give us a bit of encouragement as well, wouldn't it?
It would.
Yep. So, let us know on Facebook if you're listening. Is this Ollie?
Yep, she's back.
Ellie is here with us. Nice to see you. Now, hang on. We had a bit thing last week. Ellie is a
girl.
Is a girl. I knew that. Yeah. Is a woman. it's every time.
Ely.
Yeah. Ollie Ely. Hello, Ollie. Anyway, it's nice to see you back as well. If there's anybody else listening, do go onto the Facebook page and let us know that you're there. Also, if you'd like to come on the show, feel free to inbox us. Don't put your telephone number actually on the page, but you can inbox us directly. And give us your telephone number. We'll ring you back. We'll get you on the show as well, because it'll be good to have a bit of a chat. Because we like to have a bit of banter. Anything you want to talk about, just talk about it, because there's been quite a bit of things happening this week, hasn't it? And there's been, I mean, one of the major things, and it's been going on all week, has been the Ice Bucket Challenge. Have you seen any decent Ice Bucket challenges? It's been quite a big week for it. Everybody was waiting for Alan Robson to do his Ice Bucket Challenge as well. Have you seen the video, Shell, of Alan Robson doing his Ice Bucket Challenge?
No, I just listened to him last night do it.
I listened to him last night doing it, and what he did was, the video is out now, and if you go on our Night Owls page, you'll be able to see the video as well of Alan Robson not only pouring water on his head, but he also sits. He actually puts his cheeky bits into a sink of water, He does it all for Cash for Kids. There's quite a few other charities that he does it for as well. He sits in in the sink full of ice and water and completely freezes his gonads. Hang on then.
So what we're going to do is we're going to create a brand new challenge. The challenge is going to be called the In Sync Challenge. Okay, the In Sync Challenge. We're going to book it next anymore, yeah? We're going to book it full of freezing cold water. We're going to sink. Oh, that's distressful. And a strange but very valiant, brave masked man is going to attempt. I'm going to go down. I'm going to stick my tail in. So the idea is. Oh, hang on.
He has a bit difficulty getting up on the sink, but he makes it eventually. So here he is. He's on the sink now.
This is going to be really nasty, and it could lead to me losing my forever. I may have to sit down to wee from this point in my life. But I'm doing this for 3 charities, okay? I'm doing it for cancer research, I'm doing it for Cash for Kids, and I'm doing it for motor neuron disease.
So there you go. He did it for Cash for Kids, motor neuron disease, and the Macmillan Cancer Care as well. So he got himself up onto the sink, and he's going to lower himself. And this did not look comfortable at all when he did this. But here you are for the Night Owls. Here's the rest of it. Listen to his pain.
60 seconds in here. Okay, and then you have to end it up with a bucket on your head. Right, you're ready to count. Please count quick.
Now, hang on. He was meant to do 60 seconds, wasn't he? He was meant to do 60 seconds in here. So let's see if this was a genuine 60 seconds, mate. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, I think they counted very quick here, mate. Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 21, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 6, 7, 9, 51, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60.
And here comes the bucket. That was brilliant. Well done, Alan, for that as well. He actually poured the water over his own head as well at the end, didn't he? That was absolutely fantastic. So don't forget, you can also donate to those 3 charities that Alan did there. That was Cancer Macmillan, that was Cash for Kids, and it was also, what was it? Motor neuron disease. So you've got the links there if you want to donate to that. But please, if you can use our link as well to donate to Cash for Kids, we'll be able to tell you exactly how much we've raised at the end of it as well. So that's really good. Do we have any messages on the Facebook so far?
Nicola and Stu are listening.
Oh, hello, Nicola and Stu. We have Nicola and Stu the past few weeks as well. So it's lovely to hear from Nicola and Stu. They've also done, in fact, I think the whole family has done the Ice Bucket Challenge this week. And they've done, now how many's in the family? That's 5. That's 5 of them have done the Ice Bucket Challenge. And all up on Facebook as well. Have any of the Night Owls done an Ice Bucket Challenge as well? I do know that Davey the Milkman did the Ice Bucket Challenge, and we wish well to him because he had a fall this week apparently. David the Milkman, he put some photographs up on Facebook of him with stitches in his eye. He apparently had a fall after he'd done his Ice Bucket Challenge. But did you see his Ice Bucket Challenge yet?
No.
Oh my goodness me. He did the Ice Bucket Challenge just dressed in his underpants, let's say. In some very skimpy underpants. Mm-hmm. And as the water went down him, he ran away. We got to see his full butt crack. It wasn't a pretty sight. But we do wish him well with his recovery for his bruises and everything like that. That's wonderful. It's good to see everyone. Hang on, I did click on that to see who else was listening. So if you are listening, let us know on the Facebook page. It's good to know you're all listening. You can email us as well if you want to come on the show. Please do. I have been looking at the way that we're broadcasting, and this week we're just using the YouTube to broadcast live because we are here live. This isn't recorded. Everything is going out as it is. So we will be sounding a little bit ropey, to say the least, won't we? Shell did suggest that we open a bottle of Cava while we're doing the show.
I feel a bit too.
Do you? All right then. Oh well, that's okay then.
To the dog, I think.
Yeah, we've got a dog that the whole entire family has an allergy to. I think we've spoken about her before. She's the dog with the disgusting farts. Where is she tonight?
I've locked her in the passageway.
Oh, thank goodness for that. I'm pleased. Yep, that's Staffordshire Bull Terriers for you. Anyway, so if you have done your Ice Bucket Challenge, put a link to it on our Facebook page as well, on the Night Owls Facebook page. Would love to see you. But there's been some really good imaginative ones as well that we've seen. There was one woman, apparently, there was a video of her having she died while she did it. Now, was it a genuine video or not? Apparently, they dropped the water from a height, and the bucket hit her head, and regrettably snapped her neck. Did you see that on the Facebook?
No.
I didn't watch it. I don't like to watch things like that, but apparently that's what happened. There we are. So there it is for that. And we've just had. Oh, good. We've had Deborah's made a comment on the Night Owls as well. Hang on. Oh, she sent us a telephone number. Deborah sent us a telephone number. Deborah. Everybody can see the telephone number. They'll be ringing you. Inbox me it. There we go. I've quickly made that disappear, just in case anybody else sees it on the page, because I'm really worried. What I don't want to happen is, Night Owls, is for you to get funny phone calls from anyone, because you never know who's listening. Mind you, if there's only 35, probably not many. But Deborah, inbox me that telephone number, and I will give Mikey Man a ring if he's going to come and talk on the Night Owls. That would be fantastic. So, what has been happening this week apart from that? Well, do you know what I did on Sunday, Shell?
What did you do on Sunday?
Well, on Sunday I did the Great North bike ride, should you know.
Ooh.
And I have to say, what a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very good bike ride. In fact, the event itself was a massive success. But do you know what? Well, you were there anyway, I don't need to tell you. But Saturday came, and it wasn't until the Sunday, the Great North bike ride. And on Saturday, Shell said to us, you better get your bike ready. And I thought to myself, I need to put some different pedals on. So I went to try and take the pedals off, didn't I?
You did.
And I got one pedal off. And the other one I couldn't quite get off properly. And I couldn't actually use the bike with that pedal on because it was knackered. Mm-hmm. But I also had to leave to go and do a disco, didn't I, at 1 o'clock? It was going to be a big wedding. So I says to Shell, get yourself up to Halfords and ask them to fix the bike. Do you know what? They couldn't fix it. They said it was too old. Mm-hmm. How? I mean, I've had it since I was 14. But how old does a bike have to be before Halfords doesn't know how to fix it? I mean, it was just taking off a pedal, for goodness sake. Yep. Anyway, they sent it back. They said, oh, we'll not charge you because we can't fix it. I thought, well, what did it take? So I went and did the disco, came back at just after 12 o'clock, and I thought, oh, it's too late to try and fix it now. I better go to bed. Woke up at 8 o'clock. Now, bear in mind, we live in Cramlington, don't we? And I had to make it to Sea Houses to start the race at 9. We didn't get there till 25 to 10. I'd missed the start.
You did.
So I got my big heavy mountain bike out and I put it together and I tried to catch everyone up. I did alright. Mm-hmm. I did alright. I managed to catch them up at Sea Houses, not Sea House, up at Craster. At Craster. And I carried on cycling, kept trying to overtake people. And then the pains hit us. The pains hit us at Blythe. Well, the wood wouldn't at Blythe. Do you live in Blythe? Do you agree that Blythe sucks the life out of you? I believe it does. Blythe has this thing where it just sucks the life out of everybody who goes there. And if you ever meet anybody from Blythe, you might just say that. Anyway, tell me if you disagree, if you think Blythe's a great place to visit. The beach is alright. Anyway, what was I saying? Anyway, yes, I got back. It just took us 5.5 hours to get to Tynemouth. Uh-huh. So there we are. So what an ordeal it was, though. My goodness me. So if you're going to turn up for a race and you've missed the start line, my advice to you is just try and catch them up in the car. Mm-hmm. But I was driving the bike that was basically as heavy as a tank. Yeah. Yeah. But there you are. Never mind. Anyway, let me whip out me Watsits. Are we getting more people coming on the Night Owls page as well? Oh, Mikey Man has asked to join the Friday night outs. Oh, he's in there. He's already joined. Welcome, Mikey Man. There we are. See what else we've got there as well. Don't forget to keep your comments coming through. And we've had a comment as well from Stu. If I can just get it. There we are.
Your bike.
About me bike. Oh, I've
Your
lost
big
it.
tank.
My big tank. I mean, it is an old rally. It's a nice looking one, and it cost us £40 from Gumtree. I got it from a drug addict down at Bladen. I think he was a drug addict. I mean, he was high when I bought it off him. I must have been high to pay £40 for it. But there we are. Anyway, so come tell us your stories about what you've been doing this week, because we've also had this week a bank holiday.
Yes.
What did you do on the bank holiday? This week we decided that we're going to do something very special for the bank holiday because, of course, Alan, the week before, was doing his tour of Middlesbrough and the surrounding towns, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So we were listening to that, and I thought, oh, why don't we have a day in Middlesbrough? Because Middlesbrough has a lot of wonderful things to see, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the bridge, the high-level bridge. Is it the high-level? No, it's not the high-level bridge.
Transporter.
The transporter bridge. It's got all the factories and, you know, it looks like major pollution, but actually it's got that kind of charm to it. It looks like an apocalyptic landscape or the like. But we decided to go into Middlesbrough itself, and we visited Albert Park. We took the kids there, didn't we? In Albert Park. And it's a fantastic park. And this park had something that I've never seen in another park. What was that, Jill?
Separate play areas.
Separate play areas for teenagers, isn't it? Separate play areas for teenagers. So if you're a teenager, obviously it's a problem in some parks where teenagers at the night time just go and gather around the swings and things. This was a separate area for teenagers that had a lot more seats and places to sit down. I thought, what a good idea, because that kind of, you know, if you want to take your kids there, you don't have to worry about massive teenagers just hugging the area. So what do you think of that? Should we have more of those teenage play areas about? Aye, maybe. Anyway, Shell's been doing our research this week, and we've got loads of information to go through as well. Did you know certain towns in England have a funny name?
Yes, I know.
Yes, yes. Now, there is a place called Muggleswick somewhere in Northumberland. I don't know if that's a funny name or not. It's probably not.
Someone's.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a place called Lost and Aslos in Scotland. So if you, Aslos. Actually, it doesn't mention it here, but there's a place called Dunnet in Scotland as well. Yeah. And, I knew this bloke called Scott Steve, who said he'd always wanted to go there, because he wanted to be able to say to people, "Been there, done it." Yeah. So you've got Bummers Hill. You ever been to Bummers Hill?
Nope.
No, and I'm not going to go there either. That's in Hertfordshire. Oh, in Hertfordshire. Is it Hertfordshire?
I don't know.
Hertfordshire. You've got Dirt Pot in Allendale. Dirty Gutter in Staffordshire. And now I'm going to go to this place. Bottom Flash. That's in Cheshire. Where have you been for your holiday as well? I went to the Cheddar Gorge, and we were camping at Bottom Flash. There you've got Balls Cross and Gay Street in Sussex. Can you imagine telling people on the phone you live in Gay Street? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a happy place, but come on. Balls Cross. Bachelor's Bump in Hastings. Booze and Crackpot is... Now, this isn't... We should have passed here a couple of times. Booze and Crackpot are two towns in Yorkshire. Okay. Or unless they're just like farmsteads, because sometimes a farm will just have a name, won't it? Anyway, you've also in Devon. We've been to Devon, haven't we?
We have been to Devon.
Beer and Crapstone.
Crapstone is a cool town name.
If I'd seen a town called Crapstone, I would have visited it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and beer. Oh, well, there you go. That's fantastic. So keep those messages coming in anyway. We are trying to raise money for Cash for Kids. So, are you going to keep checking Cash for Kids page to see if we've raised any money, Michelle?
Yes, I will.
I will see how much we've raised, because you never know. Sometimes we'll forget. I think it got halfway through the show before we checked it last week, didn't we? But this is our last week before the Great North Run. that will be broadcasting will not be on next week because I've got a disco on. I'll be entertaining people with my wonderful disco ways. If you'd like to hire me for a disco, please let me know, and I'll surely arrange that for you at a very reasonable price. Yeah, so there you go. That champion. That anyway. I'm looking through all of Michelle's research. You have been working hard this week, Michelle.
I know.
Where have you been getting your research from?
Oh, everywhere on the internet.
Did you know that, well, you will do because you did this research. A pensioner says her only enjoyment in life has been taken away after a housing association banned her from feeding birds at a retirement home because it was a health hazard. Is that true? Do you think it's a health hazard feeding birds?
No, I mean it might attract mice and stuff, but what, you know, if that's a pleasure she gets, let her do it.
Yeah.
It's not causing any harm to
Well,
people.
the thing is, this is where I look at it. If it's a care home, or even if it's just a retirement home,
Anyway,
you know, people need to have some kind of joy in life. And to me, it seems ridiculous to say to people, "Oh, you can't feed the birds." Like, if they don't like it, or if they think it's making a mess, help them clean it up.
Yeah.
I just ask them to clean it up. Well, there you go. Frances, age 71, spent the last 4 years providing food for the birds who visit the communal garden. She says watching them tuck into the daily meal at the rented building has brought her untold amounts of joy. Or she should move to Gay Street because they're all happy there as well. She was shocked to receive a letter from the Cheshire and District Housing Trust accusing her of creating a health hazard and ordering her to stop spreading disease. The note even threatened that the police would get involved if she carried on.
how's she spreading disease?
I have no idea how she could be spreading disease, but the police would be contacted. How as if the police would be bothered. It's actually not a police matter, is it?
No.
Because it's more of a council matter if they think it's spreading disease, and then they have to come and make an assessment to see if it really is. I think at the end of the day, that's just that's diabolical behaviour towards
That's just some old person in the home who doesn't like her.
Yeah. However, I mean, we did have a kind of result with self when we were feeding the birds, though.
Yeah.
Because you were sitting in the front room one day looking out at the birds eating the food, and then suddenly Shell starts to scream. It was like, Alex! Alex! And I was like, what's the matter? She says, Alex! We've got a squirrel! And she says, can you see it climbing up the tree to get the nuts? And I had a look, and it was a mouse.
It wasn't a mouse. It was a rat.
Ah, no, that was it. That was later on.
One?
That was later on, because what happened was, we had the little mouse, and it was there over winter as well.
Yeah.
And to be fair, we
We
did
called
put.
him Mickey. He was very nice.
He was a nice mouse, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then the mouse stopped coming. And then this massive rat appeared. Now, don't get me wrong, we don't have a garden full of rubbish. Although if you zoom down on Google Earth, you might think it is, because on Google Earth our garden looks absolutely shocking. But this massive rat appeared. I've never seen anything so big. And we thought, well, that's a pest, so better kill it. And I don't like killing animals. I like animals. But eventually we made a decision. We bought some poison, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah. Did you put the poison down?
Yes, I did.
You put the poison down in the house, and it ate it.
Yeah.
And it took a few days, and it died.
Mhm.
And that was really sad. I really felt bad about it, but you've got to kill the rat because they spread the plague.
Well, they don't.
Well, we found out a couple of days later,
well,
didn't
they
we?
don't, yeah. But
Yeah.
they're actually really good for the gardens.
Yeah, they're good for the gardens. And was it Michaela Strachan said, don't kill rats because they're an endangered species.
Yeah.
I cannot believe that. I was devastated. So
They're
I
not
killed.
endangered species, man. Rats are everywhere.
They are everywhere. And I tell you, if you want to see a rat, and if you're in your car now, drive up to Tynemouth or any of the anywhere along
any
the
seaside.
seaside resort that's got a chip shop nearby, and if you just turn your lights out, park up in a dark spot, because me and Shell do this quite often. We drive to a dark car park, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, just eat with chips, like, and then we turn the lights off, and then turn the lights on again. When you turn the lights on again, all the rats are around, have come out from the bins and things, haven't they? They've felt safe because the lights are out, and hundreds of rats are there. But another place you can see rats during the day in the local area as well is Byker. Is it Byker? No, it's not. It's Walker. Walker Riverside Walk.
Right.
Now, if you go to Walker itself and you go and park down by the river, of course it's going to be dark again tonight. I seem to know a lot of car parks in the dark. How?
Maybe there's a story about you in there somewhere.
Maybe the. Oh, actually, there is. Yeah, about a dog in the spot.
Yeah.
Not that because I'm not. Can I just emphasise I'm not? Yeah, but there is. We are coming to that. Well, because I'll tell you what, I'll do that one next. But yeah, if you go there during the day, there's that many rats that just appear during the day. Now, I only know that because I work at a day centre, and sometimes we'll park up for dinner there, or we'll go for a walk along the riverside. And that's the only reason I know that. I don't park there in the night time anymore. Oh, hang on, we've been getting more messages. Are you getting the messages as well?
Yeah, Nicola and Stu went to the lakes today.
All right,
and
yeah.
They went past Pigs Willie Wood.
Now, I believe they were near Ambleside today. And so Pigs Willie Wood. So if you want to go to Pigs Willie Wood, get yourselves up there. It's near Ambleside. You can have a great time there.
To take the kids,
I'm going to Google that because I want to go to.
No, Nicola's put a map up of it. So.
Oh, there's a map up on there.
Yeah.
So Nicola has put a map up of how to get to Pigs Willie Wood. Have a look on that. It's just on our Night Owls page there. Pigs Willie Wood. Oh dear me. That's brilliant. Hey, we're getting quite a few messages as well coming through. So yeah, dogging spots that you mentioned there. Bushes surrounding the spot in Brighton have been allowed to grow high to ensure the privacy of men who take part in open air sex. Men who take part. What about women? Do women not take part in it as well? Okay. One worker said that they let the greenery rise to about 20 foot tall and act as a screen. Many nearby residents want the hedges cut to deter doggers and improve the area. They say that the site in Brighton, which has a large gay population, it does.
It does.
Because didn't we go to Gay Street when we were at Brighton?
Did we?
I'm sure we went to Gay Street.
I probably would have took no notice.
Yeah. Oh well, you know that street that we went in that had loads of kind of shop like people's houses that were shops.
Yeah.
I think that was
like sort of the side of Brighton.
Was that not Gay Street?
Yes.
Might have been Gay Street. Honestly, I didn't go there by myself. Anyway, the worker said the greenery was 20 foot tall, act as a screen. Many nearby residents want the hedges cut to deter doggers to improve the area. They say the site of Brighton, which is a large gay population, is a health hazard because it's strewn with used condoms and drug-taking equipment. Drug-taking equipment. You can get that from Newcastle, can't you? You can't buy drugs from the shops, but you can buy drug-taking equipment. The thinking behind this is to keep the activities mentioned all in one place. One resident who has complained to the council and police is Peter White, 50, who he himself is a gay. He's the only gay in the village. Well, obviously not. There's plenty. He said, "I won't walk." Oh, sorry. I'm going to do the way. I won't walk through the park anymore. And most people who do quickly turn around. It's shocking. Hang on.
All gay people don't talk.
No. Am I being stereotypical?
Yes, you are.
I'm sorry if I'm being stereotypical. It was my attempt at being stereotypical. Oh well, so there we go. Well, I have to say that you know, I know they're growing the bushes.
It makes sense keeping them in one place, but put some bins or something out so they can tidy up after them.
Just take your rubbish home. Oh, then again, no, I can understand not doing that. I have to say to you as well. Cramlington had that problem.
Yeah.
If you want to call it a problem, I would say it is a problem because you don't want to be going for a walk in a park and to be seeing people dogging, as it is here. I mean, it was at the top of Arcot Lane, wasn't it? At the top of Beacon Lane, near Arcot Hall. Yeah. And they were there all the time. And it became quite a serious situation because
you would walk past with the kids and you would like, quick, kids, quick.
Quick, out the way, because there they were. But then they started to build a new housing estate at the top, which was at Arcot Grange, and the builders must have realised it would lower the house prices, and they cut all the bushes down, and it has deterred them. They never go there now.
Go over the train track now to that forest.
Did they?
Yeah.
All right. Are you sure?
Oh yeah, you can tell. You can see all the vans waiting.
Oh, they're just they're council workers and things.
No, they are not.
They are. They're not. They're not, man.
They are.
All right, if you're a council worker and you park there, honestly, don't park there anymore because people think you're up to it. Oh no, how could you say that? Those poor workers and those businessmen. Oh no, maybe you're right. I could be right. But anyway, they chopped them all down and that deterred them. But this council's going the opposite way. They're actually growing trees to hide them.
But isn't it in I read in Sweden, I think it was, or Amsterdam,
Yeah.
they've built proper shelters for the prostitutes and everybody to go in now, so it's all nice and safe and clean and tidy,
Yeah.
rather than just taking them up a back alley.
Nicola Warriors just put a place up called, is it Cluster Twat? Cluster Twat. Oh, there's loads of places like that. We've got Ollie Ellie there, as well. She's listening. If there's anybody else out there, let us know you are there, and we will give you a mention. There we are. So, what else we got, Shell? Ginger discount card. Alan Robson's ginger.
Sorry.
So are we. And that is something we're very proud of here. Richard McRae, 30, received a ginger discount. Let me say that again. He received a ginger discount guy card as a joke present 4 years ago. Since then, he's been exploiting workers' naivety by gaining discounts at bars, cinemas and taxi rides. I ask, do they have a ginger discount? And when they look confused, I slide across my card. I saved a couple of £100 maybe with money off booze, taxis, food, club entries over 4 years. Yeah, that's pretty good. Have you ever tried anything like that? Just try to use your status in some way to try and get discounts.
Status?
Yeah, that's it. Well, there's a picture of him on here, and he's very ginger. He's actually got an old...
He's a proper Scottish.
Yeah. Hoover. Now, have you heard about this law about Hoover?
I didn't until I looked into it today.
Yeah. I mean, Hoover shortage from the EU. On Monday, Brussels busybodies will be pulling the plug on all models that are more than 1600 watts. This is on your vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
So Brussels has decided 1600 watts is too high for a vacuum cleaner, and it's going to make the UK greener and more energy efficient. By 2017, power will be slashed even further to 900 watts. So hang on. Europe wants to cut the power of vacuum cleaners to eventually 900 watts.
Yeah, which is nothing. You might as well just brush it.
Now we have laminate flooring now because
Yeah.
I got sick of having to hoover the carpet continuously with dog and kids. But I have to say that a 1400 watt hoover was not enough. We needed, to especially get the pet hair up, we needed a more powerful vacuum cleaner. And that's what we got. How can they justify that? Surely it should be your own choice whether you want to have a more powerful vacuum cleaner. It can't be up to Brussels to say, no, I'm not allowed to make them anymore. Oh no, it wouldn't be. They wouldn't say that from Brussels, would they? You are not allowed to make them anymore.
That's how they talk.
I don't know. I was trying to sound a bit German there. Yeah, well, maybe I was being stereotypical again. That's my second stereotypical thing of the night. My apologies, night owls. Especially if you're listening there in Germany. We respect the Germans, don't we?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
I don't know anybody with Germans.
I don't really know anyone. Rammstein. They're the only ones who I know who are German. So, we're still getting messages coming through on the Night Owls page, and that one is from you, but it couldn't be loaded because it's been removed.
Because it's just getting sent out.
Is it?
So I don't know how it's coming up now, but I've just...
Oh. Alright. Okay then. Alright. So keep those messages coming in anyway. I've read the one about birds, haven't I? But have I read you the one about black magic?
No.
Alright. A coven of witches in India chopped off a man's arms and burned him alive when he asked them for help by treating his 10-year-old son. As soon as the family reached the witches, Parvati, is that right there?
Yeah.
The head witch branded Mr. Chopra a rival sorcerer and ordered her disciples to kill him. There you go. That's in India though. So Chopra's wife and son told police they watched helplessly as he was stabbed repeatedly and hacked with axes before the witches sent him on a fire with kerosene-soaked rags. See, to get in India, it seems a really strange place because they seem to get away with.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, for once being ruled by the British Empire, the people there are still completely soaked in superstition. They were laughing and dancing around his body to music while he screamed in agony. In the end, there was just a pile of ashes left. They cut off his hands because they said that was where his power was. My husband told him he had no powers, no witchcraft, but they wouldn't listen. The more he screamed, the more they sang, and the more they laughed. Then, to make sure his power was gone forever, they said they had to burn him. This was in front of our son, who was terrified. The government statistics show that there were 160 cases of murder linked to witch hunts in 2013 and 119 the previous year. So there you go.
That's quite a lot, though, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, but witch hunts, it's surprising, still go on. In Africa, witch hunts go on, and the people who come to Britain, who are entrenched in a lot of these cultures.
Yeah, but you hear it a lot over here, you know,
Yeah.
they find decapitated bodies and stuff.
Yeah, but what they tend to do is, if a person isn't a British national and nobody knows they're here, then they can kill somebody and nobody knows about it, and that's unfortunately what's happened a lot, especially with children as well. We've seen that in the past few years, haven't we? So, let me have a look here. Oh, we've done that one. Hang on, we've done that one. Hey, I've got a long list of stuff. Michelle's been working very hard. Well, what kind of person? You see, these people who would burn somebody alive because they thought they were a witch. Are they mad or are they bad? Oh, yeah, the dog in the background. Are they mad or are they bad?
Mad.
You think mad?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got these people, but you've got somebody mad, but they've got a lot of people following them and believe in them, you know, so it's difficult to tell. So are the followers mad or bad, or just misled?
Followers are just gullible.
Yeah, I mean, people are generally speaking gullible. Do you want to let that dog in? She's crying out there. Well, poor dog, we have locked her out because she tends to be a bit of a pain when we're doing the broadcast, but she's sitting at the door crying away and scratching at the door, so we'll let her in. Come on in, Jem. Go and lie in the settee, though. No, sit yourself down. Stop wagging your tail.
Because she wasn't better asleep.
I know. Go on. Go and lie down. There we are. So, there we are. I've done that one. That's Funny Tongues in England. Husband to it. I'll tell you about that one later. Now, the reason I'm asking you about are they mad or are they bad is because, hang on. Is because I was going to talk about psychopaths. Psychopaths, are they mad or are they bad? There you go. Because you get a lot of people who commit hideous crimes, don't you? Maybe they can rape, they can murder, they can steal, and they feel nothing. They don't feel any shame, they don't feel any remorse, they don't feel any empathy for their victims. So, are they mad or are they bad? What do you think, Night Owls? Let us know. So, we have got, it's Ollie again. What's Ollie saying, Shell?
No, we're just talking about the Hoover. This is what we were saying. There's no way. Like, you know, if you've got animals, there's no way can you have a crap Hoover, basically.
Yeah.
You know, you need a really powerful.
Yeah,
you know yourself from the dog.
Yeah. Oh, it's completely true. Yeah. I mean, we used to have a long-haired dog, and to have a 900-watt vacuum cleaner would be ridiculous. There's no point in that. Anyway, Ollie Ellie, what has she got to say? Let's have a look. She says, I have cats and a dog and I have cats and a dog. 900-watt Hoover? Might as well go around on hands and knees sucking up through a straw. Yeah, Dawn Holmes has come in there. She says, know exactly what you mean, Ollie. I had 3 cats and a dog. Need a Dyson just to make a dent in the hair. Only have the dog left. But still, wouldn't be without me Dyson. Ah, we had a Dyson, didn't we?
Yeah.
Got nicked. I was so pleased it was blocked. In fact, when the Dysons first came out, we bought one, didn't we? We thought they were the bee's knees because you didn't have to use a bag. And the thing with these vacuum cleaners is, they tend to block up really quick, and it's not because they're filled with muck. It's because they've got the air filter.
Yeah.
And you think the old-fashioned bags they had quite a wide surface area, didn't they, to let all the air through. But the surface area that blows the air out in these hoovers is very small and becomes very clogged very quickly. And I found that with our vacuum cleaner, we were banging the filter against the wall to get it working more than emptying the barrel. So that's why we've got laminate flooring. By the way, if you want laminate flooring for your house cheap, go to IKEA. How much did we pay for a pack of laminate flooring from IKEA?
10 Irish?
It was only 10 quid for a pack. And we did the full downstairs, didn't we? And I think it's alright. Well, I'm saying it's alright. We experimented first with the toilet, and that was terrible. And we got better as we did the hallway. And by the time we got to do the kitchen and the dining room, I think we're dab-handed putting laminate flooring down. Well, you are anyway. I couldn't be bothered. I just watched you.
But we still need a nice powerful hoover for the dog on the stairs.
Yeah. Anyway, what was I talking about again?
Mad people.
Mad people. Psychopaths. Now, psychopaths are everywhere, apparently. I've heard different statistics about psychopaths. And apparently, there's 1 in every 100 people is a psychopath. But there's different scales of them. But anyway, they don't have any empathy. They don't have any shame, any compassion. The victims just, you know, like it. For them, the victims don't matter. They feel nothing. All they know is what they want, and what they want to achieve or to fulfill some kind of desire. So here we are, psychopath. When you think of a psychopath, what kind of person do you think of, though?
Somebody with evil eyes.
Oh, aye.
Like deep set dark eyes.
Yeah. To be fair, they might not be well if they just have deep set dark eyes.
No, but you know what I mean. Like,
or just old. What else? I'll tell you what I think of. I think the people who are murderers and in prison.
Yeah.
Like Myra Hindley.
Yeah. Yeah, but when you look at her, she's got dark
that's
eyes,
true.
so
She's
do you
got
know what I
dark
mean?
eyes, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well, isn't that
that's
just
what I
the makeup they used to use back in the 1960s, though? Aye. And also, who else would you think of? You'd think of him with a beard. Who am I thinking of?
Marilyn Manson. No, he's
yeah, maybe him. Actually, no. Here's a fact. Marilyn Manson is not a psychopath. He rates quite low on the psychopath scale.
Apparently they're saying, is it Einstein or somebody was a psychopath?
Einstein was a psychopath?
Yeah.
But why did they say Einstein was a psychopath?
I don't know, I didn't read it, I just skipped over it. I thought that's a lot of rubbish.
Einstein was a psychopath. I mean, I can't think. Was he? I don't know.
I mean, you've got people like Hitler and your common ones like that, but
Hitler wasn't a psychopath. He actually comes low on the psychopath scale. This is interesting, this actually, because Hitler comes low on the psychopath scale because he got other people
to do it for him.
So he didn't actually have to see the suffering of his victims. And so if he had the ability to have empathy, he didn't. That opportunity wasn't there.
Yeah.
I mean, to be quite fair with you, he probably was a psychopath. But Marilyn Manson, is it Marilyn Manson?
No, Charles.
Charles Manson. Who's Marilyn Manson?
Marilyn Manson's the singer.
Yeah.
I get them mixed up.
Looks like a psychopath though. But no, Charles Manson, for the same reasons, he scores low on the psychopath scale because he got other people to do the murders for him.
Yeah.
So it's quite interesting, that, isn't it? Yeah. But it's kind of a paradox because the people who then do the murders, they score low. A lot of them score low on the psychopath scale because they were ordered to do it. So it's interesting. Anyway, a psychopath is not necessarily somebody who will murder someone else, although they can do it. It's somebody who will harm somebody else in any way whatsoever and not feel anything. So this is the checklist to find a psychopath, to recognize a psychopath. First one, superficial charm. Right? Psychopath, they can charm their way out of any kind of any situation. In fact, if they've done something that's wicked or evil, they can actually charm the police or anybody like that to make them believe that they wouldn't do such a thing. There's been a misunderstanding. There's also a grandiose sense of self-worth. I've got that. I must. There's one where tick that one off. Pathological lying.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. If somebody is kind of a liar and they say,
yeah, but they believe it to be true.
yeah. But the difference is if somebody's a pathological liar, but I do know some people who, yeah, if you meet somebody who lies about something and they believe it to be true, they convince themselves, apparently that's quite high on the psychopath scale. If they're cunning and manipulative, so maybe if they play one person up against another, and they're very clever with things like that, that would come under charm as well. Here's the one, lack of remorse or guilt.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got somebody who's done something, now here's an example.
You see, you've got what's it called? Didgeridoo Man.
Didgeridoo Man, yeah.
Rolf Harris.
Rolf Harris. I mean, can you guess what it is yet? Yeah, it's a prison cell.
Yeah, but he's not showing any remorse at all.
No, it's interesting, but as well, we're not seeing any remorse from him, but we're not really seeing.
Signs, would you class them as a psychopath?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now the thing is with the psychopath, it's part of it is charm, and if you get somebody who is in the public eye and they're famous, one of the things they've probably got to make them famous on the TV is charm. You've got to have that. So if you see a lot of your people who've been arrested and that you wouldn't believe, because I didn't believe it about Rolf Harris when it first came out. Yeah. My reaction was, no way, no, you can just tell he's a lovely man. But it turned out, no, definitely not. He's actually done things that would be against anyone's kind of moral values. So lack of remorse or guilt. Although he did write a letter, didn't he, to the girl's father, apologising for what happened.
Hasn't apologised to her.
Has he not?
Because he didn't think he did anything wrong, though.
Oh, right, right.
I think he's apologised to the dad, but you don't know that's because the courts have made him.
Yeah, yeah. So it's difficult to know whether he's a psychopath or not, isn't it?
So far, checklist.
Yeah. Yeah. So emotionally shallow. Callous, lack of empathy. I think that comes under kind of no remorse or guilt. But I suppose as well, if you're deliberately hurting somebody and you can see the damage that's happening on their life, then a lack of empathy would be quite a serious thing. Because, let me give you an example of lack of empathy. If you see somebody who... give us an example, Sal. Give us an example. All right, I'll give you an example. Kind of think of one. That may be because I'm a psychopath.
I was going to say all the ums and ahs that would.
Yeah, ums and ahs apparently is.
We'll get on to that later.
We'll get on to that. But anyway, if you see somebody in distress, so let's give you an example. Let's say
if an old woman, when we were driving along the car and that old woman was getting blown over in the wind, people were just driving by and leaving her getting.
Right. Yeah. So we were up. Where were we that day? Up near Sunnyside at Gateshead, and we were driving along and we spotted an old woman. And she was getting blown over by the wind. It was a really windy day. What the hell were we doing out on a windy day like that? We saw her, and immediately I turned round the car, and I thought, because she was next to the road, and I thought she's going to be blown over. So we helped her cross the road, didn't we? And that was just because we couldn't drive away, because we could see she was in distress. So it's kind of being aware, empathy is being aware of other people's emotions. There was another example actually where we did the same thing. The little boy. Because we're at Cramlington and it was at Boghouses. There's another funny named place. It's Boghouses at Cramlington. And we drove past and there was a little boy standing at the bus stop and he was only about, how old would you say he was?
John Luke's age.
7 years old. That's all he was. And as we drove past, this lad, he looked hysterical. He was crying, but he was by himself, tears rolling down his face. I mean, when you see a lad who's like in a panic, and we drove up the roundabout, and I said, "Shell, can't leave it. I need to find out why he's by himself." So we turned around, got there, and it turned out we stopped and said, "Funny lad, are you all right? What's happened?" And he says, "Oh, I fell asleep on the bus." And here's what happened. I fell asleep on the bus. I missed my bus stop in Blythe. And the bus driver threw me off the bus in Cramlington. That was, that's disgusting, isn't it? That was on Arriva buses. The bus driver threw a 7-year-old boy off the bus in Cramlington when he missed his stop. He fell asleep in Blythe. So he didn't have a phone on him. He didn't know his telephone number, and we said, "Well, what's your address?" So we said, "Come on, we'll give you a lift because we're going up to Blythe." And we drove up to his house, knocked on the house, and said to his dad, "We found your son in Cramlington." And apparently he was meant to have his brother with him.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently his brother and his friends had left him on the bus when they knew he was asleep because they thought it would be funny. So here we have, okay, it could be an example of empathy, us like going back on those occasions to help them. But empathy seemed to be absent from the bus driver.
Yeah.
Who threw him off the bus, threw a 7-year-old boy off the bus who was abandoned and could see was in distress. Empathy from kids who leave somebody on a bus, and obviously they couldn't see the distress.
Kids learn empathy though as they get older, don't they?
Yeah, well, I don't know. Are you not born with empathy?
I don't know.
I mean, obviously he was asleep when they left him, so possibly if they'd seen him in distress, they would have had empathy then. But it's the bus driver that worries me. That would be psychopathological. Oh, is that a word? Is that, or have I just lengthened the word unnecessarily? Anyway, so another one is failure to accept responsibility for one's own actions. So if, let's say, you've knocked somebody over in your car.
And it's their fault for jumping in front of you.
Yeah, it's their fault for jumping. Well, I know they were on a zebra crossing, but it's their fault. They should have waited for me to stop.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be failure to accept responsibility for one's own actions. Need for stimulation, proneness to boredom. Isn't that everyone?
That's everyone.
That's everybody on the bloody planet. Parasitic lifestyle. What would that be? A parasitic lifestyle, do you think? I can give you an example of that.
So I can happen on it.
I'll give you an example of a parasitic lifestyle. Parasitic lifestyle is somebody who lives off someone else. So Scott free. So let's say if I became homeless.
Scott Steve.
Oh, he was I suppose so. Yeah, that was a good example. But let's say if I became homeless. Let's say I didn't pay my rent.
Yeah.
And I got evicted. And I knocked on my friend's door and said, "Oh, I've been evicted. Can I crash out at your house for a while?" And he's like, "Oh, you poor soul." So he's got empathy. Lets you crash out at his house for a while. But if you then didn't pay him any rent, and you ate all the food in his house, and kept making excuses and just never left the house, used his electricity, ate all his food, then that would be a parasitic lifestyle, living off someone else. Yeah, never contributing towards anything at all. It's basically like a parasite is somebody who is an animal that latches onto another animal and sucks its blood, but gives nothing in return. As opposed to a symbiont, where we've got all the way. A symbiont where you have two organisms that live by helping each other in some. Actually, anyway, that's getting off the subject. Lack of realistic long-term goals. So that would be people who have fantasy goals, doesn't it? I would imagine.
Like a footballer, a ballerina.
Yeah. Oh, I want to be a footballer. Or I'm going to start a pub myself.
I want to be the Prime Minister.
I'm going to be Prime Minister of Britain, but first of all, it's kind of having an end game, but not having any little goals to get themselves up to that. Because I've done life coaching before, and if somebody's got a grandiose goal, I mean, you obviously have to make sure that it's realistic first. Yeah. If it's realistic and it can't be achieved, you've got to look at the blocks to it, and also look at the little steps that you would take towards that.
Like me saying I'm going to marry Robbie Williams.
Oh yeah.
Oh, of course, didn't you know?
Oh right, okay then. That's great. Well, if you're going to marry Robbie Williams, I want the maintenance. Because I get plenty cash. Anyway, what else have we got? We've done that. Impulsivity, being impulsive. So anything that's impulsive, because somebody who's a psychopath doesn't think about the consequences, and that's why a psychopath's more likely to punch somebody in the face and not have empathy at the same time. perhaps speed in the car and not consider the consequences of speeding in the car. Maybe they'll have a crash or something like that. Poor behavioural controls, which will go in for this impulsiveness as well. Early behavioural problems. Now that's interesting. So what that's suggesting is that if a child will have behavioural problems if they're a psychopath.
Well, I was looking into it as well in more detail, and it was like saying that it could be genetic.
Yeah.
Psychopaths could be genetic, or it could be learned from the parents at such an early stage.
All right, okay then. Well, here's Ollie. She says bus driver should have been sacked for that. Yeah, totally agree with that. I kind of hope the parents, because it wasn't my responsibility to contact the bus driver, but I hope the parents did contact the bus company, because people like that, well, people who are driving a bus have a responsibility of care for everybody who is on that bus, whether they're old people, disabled people, or children. And to abandon a child in a remote part of Cramlington was just unforgivable. I would have sacked him straight away. I wouldn't have any problems.
No.
A 7-year-old child, it's like, come on, absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, early behavioural problems. Yeah, you're right. I mean, like, so what were you reading that it can be learned through experience?
It could be, it could be either learned from an early age, like different factors can affect it, or it's inherited.
Yeah, inherited psychopathology.
Genetic,
yeah, I mean, I was reading, and there's a lot of different books on this, and a lot of different thoughts. I think Americans have slightly different thoughts on us, but what I was reading was you've got people who have learned to become a psychopath through their experiences socially, through their childhood and things.
That's mainly childhood,
But
like neglected childhood.
But according to this bit of research, they're a sociopath. Both have the same results. They're both basically psychopaths. But a sociopath, according to that bit of research, was somebody who learned to be, so had their empathy anaesthetized in some way. They didn't experience it anymore. Whereas a psychopath is somebody who's born that way. Now it suggests there that a psychopath has early behavioural problems. I'm not convinced that's true. Yes, they may be more likely to torture animals and to get into fights and to cause problems. But I think a sociopath would probably have more difficulties because it's learned. Whereas a psychopath, they're born that way and they have to learn to fit in. So that's part of where the charm comes from. If they're able to create charm to fit into their environment and to gain acceptance, then this superficial charm would prevent them from behaving in some ways that would get them condemnation, although they would have to fight their impulsiveness, wouldn't they, as well. Maybe they would wait until it was safe to do so, get that environment where it's safe. Anyway, irresponsibility, poor behavioural controls, early behavioural problems, juvenile delinquency.
Which comes with behavioural problems, really.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I think a lot of juvenile delinquency is not psychopathology. I think a lot of juvenile delinquency is stress.
Yeah.
And children respond to stress in different ways. And I've counselled a lot of young adults who have suffered from stress, and as a result have started skipping school, then getting into trouble, and it's all been as a result of some kind of trauma, some kind of social trauma or sexual trauma that they've experienced. Brings on the stress. They get diagnosed sometimes with ADHD, and they get that for the rest of their life. But it seems that it's all down to a stressful episode in their life. So I wouldn't always go for that. For juvenile delinquency, you've got to be careful about labelling somebody a psychopath, haven't you? Revocation of conditional release. What the heck?
I don't know what that means.
I haven't a clue what that means. Revocation of conditional release. Oh, shell screen's just crashed. Are you getting it back on there? That's weird. My computer's still working. I'm just going to check the Facebook there, see if we've had any more.
I haven't. No.
No, not yet.
No.
There we are. Hang on then. Let's just have a look. I think we've been joined by some more people as well.
Caroline and Davey.
Yeah, we've got Caroline's just been in touch there. She was on last week, wasn't she? And Caroline's just saying, sorry, missing you, mega drunk, sorry. I think when
you just don't have another threesome.
Not unless you really want to. Caroline was listening last week, but I think she's been out on the sauce tonight. Yeah, or maybe she's just had a bit much to drink at home. By the way, I thought we were going to have that bubbly tonight when we're doing night hours in Chelsea, and she's not feeling well enough for it.
I think when we're watching X
Factor. And I can't have it tomorrow night because I'm doing a disco.
X Factor Sunday.
Well, watch X Factor on Sunday, because I can't watch X Factor tomorrow night because I've got a disco up at Camas, up at Cambois. Yeah, Doctor Who as well. I'm going to have to watch that on Sunday as well. Oh, goodness me. I hate missing a Saturday night.
Day on Sunday. Yeah.
It's what on?
Jommy Day on Sunday.
Jommy Day on Sunday. Yeah, oh, well, okay then. Criminal versatility. Oh, you can be criminally versatile. Lots of different ways to be a criminal. Many short-term marital relationships. So if you're a psychopath, you're more likely to have more marriages.
Don't know how. Maybe you murder your husband and that's how.
Yeah, because I reckon Henry VIII was probably a psychopath.
Yeah, no, he was.
He was he?
He was. Fancy that.
Did I come up with that?
No, he was. I found it out today.
No way.
I did, yeah.
Yeah? So what did they say about... Oh, because he chopped his wife's head off.
Yeah, he just had all the... Yeah.
Although, yeah, and he would divorce them as well, or have them imprisoned. I'd say that's pretty... Because he would have known their distress, I would imagine. Yeah, oh well, and... promiscuous sexual behaviour.
Which he was. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, well, very good, very good. That's excellent. So we've got some pretty good facts there. So, what are the professions a psychopath would have?
Well, I thought Dole Waller.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, right.
Ice cream man.
Why ice cream man? So what you got? You reckon
it's such a
Waller?
boring job.
I've got a list of them here of professions that you would probably be in if you were a psychopath. The most popular professions for a psychopath. So you were thinking Dole Waller, ice cream man.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
That's what I was thinking.
Why ice cream man?
Don't know.
Have you met particularly nasty ice cream? Is it just because they're so expensive?
No, it's just the reminders of the clown off the It.
Oh, clowns are psychopaths.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they wear a superficial mask.
And you see the ice cream man could as well, because they could easily knock a child over and it was a child's fault for just running behind us.
That doesn't happen very often. Do you know why?
Well, you're making us overthink.
You've just got ice cream men driving around knocking children over.
With a clown suit on.
With a clown suit on, going, I'll overcharge you for this ice pop. I tell you what, you can't get any more of an ice cream man because they were too cheap and used to get them for 10 pence back in the early 80s. Is a cup lolly. Did you not used to get cup lollies?
No, I could afford an ice cream.
You lived on the poor Dole Waller estate, right? And I lived on the middle class kind of estate.
Posh estate, yeah, you
and
did.
We could only afford cup lollies.
That's because your dad spent all the money in the pub.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Whereas my mum's money went on us children.
Yeah, but we could afford to do that because we were middle class. I don't think we were middle class, you know. We weren't. I think if we lived there now, would be middle class.
Nah.
No.
Your mum's a bit snobby now. Oh, she's got more.
I don't think she is. I think not. Chief exec. Right, here you are. So, professions that seem to have the most psychopaths are chief executive officer.
Because they're bossy.
I don't think it's because they're bossy. It's because they're willing to sack people. Okay, you look at Lord Sugar. I mean, I suppose it's overgeneralising a bit,
it is,
but
isn't it?
You look at somebody like Lord Sugar. He'll sack somebody. He'll say you're fired. Right? Okay, that's not taking. Although I've got to be honest, some of them I would quite enjoy sacking because a lot of the ones he gets rid of are psychopaths.
Yeah.
They'll mistreat their colleagues. They'll try to, outdo them in some way, make them look bad. So yeah. A lawyer. Why would a lawyer do well as a psychopath? Or why would a psychopath do well as a lawyer?
I suppose they have to listen to all the mad people's stories.
Shall I tell you why I think a lawyer would be good as a psychopath, or a psychopath would be good as a lawyer?
Why?
Because they have to protect the guilty.
Yeah.
Now you think about it. If you're going to be a really expert lawyer, you're not a moral person or an empathic person, let's say if they're defending somebody who's raped somebody, okay? Now, they would have to see the victim in the court and not experience empathy and want to get their client off from going to prison. So, yes, I can see why a psychopath would be really effective as a lawyer. So, yeah, you would have to have no compassion whatsoever for victims. Oh, good. So yeah, they can be useful in society. Okay, media, television, and radio. Would that include us? We're not really radio, are we? We're podcast.
What?
I don't know. I'm actually not sure what this is. I call
Because
it
it's just
radio.
us having a laugh.
This is really.
Yeah.
But anyway, media. So people who work in media would be like psychopaths. Now you think about it.
Yeah.
Somebody who doesn't experience empathy in media, who would that be? And they would be useful at that if they were a psychopath. The more psychopathological they are, the better they would be at media. Who? So they don't have any empathy for the person they're questioning. Okay, I'm going to suggest actually, newsreaders. Best newsreaders are the ones who don't care about the person they question when they're really asking hard questions and the person's getting flustered. Jeremy Paxman. Then again, I wouldn't necessarily. I don't think Jeremy Paxman is a psychopath himself, but I'm saying as those characteristics would be helpful. But Jeremy Paxman, actually, I think he's quite an okay fella because I've seen him in other circumstances. Yeah. Then again, if you're going to question a politician and you think they're really misleading the British public, that's not really pathological.
I think it's maybe ones who have to interview people in really sad circumstances and that don't show any emotion.
Oh yeah, so they managed to not have any empathy because, or maybe that's just having the ability
like professional.
Being professional. Then again, if you're a psychopath, maybe that would be more useful. So you'll be more successful.
Yeah, but you have had your reporters. I know there's been reporters after your crash when the airplanes crashed, and they were like taking selfies next to all the dead bodies and stuff like that.
Oh right, right. So, yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, now this is the journalist, surgeon. Surgeon. Why would surgeon. Why would a surgeon be a psychopath? Do you think?
Wait, they could open somebody. And
yeah.
You know.
Yeah, well, yeah, because there's times when a surgeon has to do something that's painful to someone.
Yeah.
Or sometimes humiliating to somebody, so they'll, so that surgeon will have to switch off that emotion or that empathy. But then again, they're doing something that's compassionate. They're fixing somebody, aren't they? Yeah,
but then you've got your surgeon who accidentally, or on purpose, give the man a vasectomy last week, wasn't it?
Was that not just a bloody mistake, though?
What was it? You don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I did once have...
you do hear of surgeons deliberately killing people as well, though.
Yeah, well, I had a dentist when I was a bairn who didn't used to give any anaesthetic, and he used to drill children's teeth. And if you're in Cronington, you know who you are. He used to drill children's teeth as soon as they came through. I mean, my teeth, as soon as they came through, you would put fillings in them. And they didn't need fillings because they were brand new, and I used to brush my teeth all the time. But he used to get great pleasure in drilling it.
Yeah.
And he used to make money from that. So somebody who's a dentist and who does things like that, and I know there's a lot of dentists who do unnecessary work, and they're getting paid for damaging somebody, that's definitely psychopathological. Yeah. You're a psychopath. You, it's not like I've got any issues left from that, but you know who you are. You get. Journalists, so we've done them. Surgeon, salesperson. Salespersons, you can only be a successful salesperson if you are a psychopath.
I would agree, because there is nothing worse than you keep getting them on the phone all the time.
Right, here you are.
Trying to sell you windows and stuff that you don't need.
They don't care who you are. They don't care if you're old. And
problems with your computer that you haven't even got.
That you haven't even got. Oh, hello, this is hello, this is Saeed. Oh no, it's not Saeed because they'll not.
It's James Smith at the moment.
Hello, this is Jim Smith. I hope I've got a rapport with you because I've got an English-sounding name. I would just like to say to you, you have a problem with your Windows computer, and if you switch your computer on now and give us all your bank details, we'll fix it for you. It's like, I don't use Windows, I use Linux. I will fix that for you. No, you won't. Thank you very much. Anyway, so a salesperson. Here you are. So old lady is walking through the shops, and she's stopped by a man, and he says, "Would you like to buy a credit card? You'll get £5,000 credit on the credit card. You can use it for what you want." I mean, this is how we got a credit card, wasn't it? Somebody telling me we're going to get something for nothing. Old lady, she's vulnerable, and this man won't leave her alone. And because she's polite.
Well, they do that. They get old ladies all the time, even with like windows and gutters.
Yeah, windows and gutters, but because they've got values of being polite, they go along with it and they trust people. So somebody says to them, "Oh no, you'd be great with this credit card," or let's say change your your energy plan.
Yeah.
Go away from London Electric and come to PowerGen or whatever it would be. And this woman ends up taking on a package that costs her £400 more a month. So, okay. Now that is the kind of person who's a psychopath. They don't care. In fact, they're justifying their own mind by saying, "Oh well, they've got the opportunity to stop it within 14 days or whatever." But that's a psychopath. Somebody who goes out their way to sell you something that they know that you don't need.
Yeah.
That's happened to us before, where people have sold with us.
All the time when we're younger. And
yeah. I mean, when we've been daft, because I remember when we were younger. And we went to the bank and said, "Oh, I need to pay off with debt. Oh, goodness me." And instead of saying to her, "Actually, just carry on paying it because you haven't got much debt to pay off," they wanted to make a commission off it, didn't they? And they ended up selling with credit card and ended up selling with loans where I think in total it cost me thousands more. But because they'd sold with credit cards, they got a big commission.
Yeah.
It's, This is why salespeople need to be a psychopath if they want to be successful. Anyway, who else? Police officer. Oh, police officer. I know a lot of police officers, and they seem canny blokes.
Analyse them next time you're out. See what they say. I think, yeah. Yeah,
I'm going to analyse them. Actually, I think you do get a broad. I think police officers. Yeah, if you're a psychopath, maybe you would be a more successful police officer.
Not the easiest job, like, is it?
It's, you see, I'm not so sure, because if you're a psychopath in America, obviously, there's a lot more psychopaths or police officers. They've got guns. They're not afraid to use them. They'll shoot I mean, I've seen videos of them shooting a dog, and you see a lot of that now in Britain. You've got to have good social skills as a police officer, so I'm not really certain.
It could be more American,
yeah, if you're in America, I reckon if you're a psychopath, yeah, that would be good. In Britain, if you're a psychopath, I think you could lose your job.
I've never heard of any British.
No, but I mean, like most British policemen are, I would say that they're quite good and quite helpful. Well, that's my experience anyway. Am I just saying that because I know a few? Clergy person, a priest, a vicar, a minister. Do you think they are psychopaths?
Well, they are.
Yeah.
Nutty, half of them.
I think a lot of them have serious psychological problems. I think a lot of them are psychopaths.
You will maybe get some decent ones, but in general,
people who are clergy have power over other people. Now, I've seen it myself, where people, I mean, obviously there is abuse goes on in the churches, but power. Not everybody is an abuser in the church, but there's even in these minority churches, people who are in power have great influence on what happens to a person's life. Now, I mean, we used to go to church and we saw people get excommunicated, and their lives were absolutely ruined because nobody was allowed to speak to them anymore. Now, to ruin somebody's life like that is a tremendous amount of power, but it requires a total lack of empathy to do that, especially if it's for an offence such as let's think. I mean, like any offence really. If it's to a teenage child who decides they don't want to be in the church anymore and they get disfellowshipped, then obviously that requires a certain amount of psychopathology to them. Anyway, chef. I don't understand how chef.
No.
A chef. Yeah, in some of the restaurants I've been in. Civil servant. I'm not really sure about civil servant either.
Maybe the person wrote it just do not like civil
servants. Civil servants, yeah. What does a civil servant do? They just work for central government, don't they? And do pensions and things. It says at the bottom here, these positions either carry much weight in the eyes of the world or offer substantial opportunity with power and control. So it's a job. I think
it's all power, job where you've got power.
It's a job with power and control, isn't it? So what do you think, Night Owls? Let us know what you think about that, because that's quite interesting. Do you know any psychopaths? What's your story? If you've met a psychopath, what did they do? How did you realise that they were a psychopath? After listening to these qualities, have you suddenly realised you know a psychopath? Psychopaths make up about 1% of the general population. Psychopaths are generally profoundly selfish, lack emotion, they have little or no conscience, and are also known for being cunning and manipulative. So there you are. How words give them away. Professor Hancock interviewed 52 convicted murderers, 14 of them ranked as psychopaths according to the psychopathology checklist. To examine the emotional content of the murderer's speech, Hancock and his colleagues looked up a number of factors, including how frequently they described their crimes using past tense. The use of past tense can be an indicator of pathological detachment, and research has found that psychopaths used it more than the present tense when compared with non-psychopaths. They also found that more ers and ums that interrupt speech among psychopaths indicate that the speaker needs some time to think about what they are saying. So in some way, they're using ums and ers to hide aspects of their personality. Psychopaths appear to view the world and others instrumentally as theirs for the taking, and the psychopath's language contained more conjunctions because, and so, and these are associated with cause and effect statements. This pattern suggests that psychopaths were more likely to view the crime as the logical outcome of a plan, something that had to be done to achieve a goal. While most of us respond to higher level needs such as family, religion and spirituality and self-esteem, psychopaths remain occupied with those needs associated with more basic existence. They use about twice as many words related to basic physiological needs and self-preservation, including eating, drinking, monetary resources, than the non-psychopaths. Well, that's interesting. So a non-psychopath would speak more about social needs, self-esteem needs, needs about achieving your potential, whereas a psychopath is still more focused on food, sex, and possessions. That's interesting. Very interesting. So have we had any messages from people? So let me have a look in here. You look in here.
Ollie has been talking about she's had a phone call from a certain window firm lots of times as well.
Yeah, so there's people getting phone calls all the time. We do get phone calls a heck of a lot, saying that they want to do a survey, and they do a survey, they collect the information, then sell that information to companies who would be interested in targeting you. And it's surprising. What I did was, I did an experiment, didn't I? And I answered the questions, but I changed my name to George Burns.
Yes, you did, and didn't tell me.
Yeah, sorry about that. And then it was to see what would happen.
Yeah. And
I knew that every phone call that we got was from this company, or was because of this company. When they said, can we speak to Mr. George Burns? And we got phone calls from insurers, like kind of life insurance. We got phone calls from window cleaners, window salesmen, from people who wanted to sell with hearing aids. It was an abundance of things, car insurance, all kinds.
Yeah.
And the car insurers were phoning us because they knew the date car insurance was up. Yeah. So there we are.
But we got rid of them when I was pretending to be a sex worker. Can you remember?
Oh yes.
Yes, and I was talking dirty to them on the phone. Now that was very funny.
That was a turn on.
When I pretended that my pimp was on his way and he was about to beat us up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was quite funny as well. So, just have a laugh.
Yeah. Just had a message, by the way, from Davey. Davey, I'm sorry to hear you've had a bereavement today, mate. It's sorry to hear that you've had a really bad day with it as well. If anybody can see Davey on there, give him some kind wishes. Our thoughts are with you, Dave, mate. Now we haven't actually played any music yet, have we?
No.
Now usually we do play some music during night hours because we have a what we like to call a wee break.
Did you fix the toilet door?
Oh goodness me, I haven't fixed the toilet. Oh no, I did fix the toilet door. I did. Jacob was going to go into the loo. He complained to us, and then John Luke, our middle child, he went to the loo and he was desperate. He couldn't go to the upstairs one because I was there, and he complained to us. He said, "Dad, I can't sit in the toilet with the door open because the dog just sat there and stared at us." And I thought to myself, I'm going to have to fix it. And what had happened was the door was hanging off its hinges, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I've hammered it back up. Well, I started to put a screw in and gave up and just hammered the screw the rest of the way. And I thought to myself, I've had enough of that.
We'll have to stop the kids fighting over the bottom toilet.
They're not supposed to use the bottom toilet. It's meant to be just for guests, though, isn't it?
That's why they were fighting over it. Because the little one was desperate and the middle one wanted him to wet himself.
How pleasant. Children are lovely.
I should say hello to them, by the way.
Yeah, hello to John Luke, hello to Harrison Benedict Park, and hello to Jacob Parker as well.
You should all be in bed, mind.
You should be all in bed, but John Luke and Harrison are both next door at the mother-in-law's house, aren't they?
Yeah.
Now, usually we have Harrison Benedict Park is on the show. He normally has a little bit of his... he has his 10 pence worth normally, doesn't he? Yeah. But not tonight.
Didn't want to.
Yeah, he didn't tonight, no, didn't he not? Oh, it was a little bit disappointing, because we're a big, good piece of entertainment. So has anybody done the Ice Bucket Challenge? Let us know your story if you've done the Ice Bucket Challenge. And don't forget, we are collecting for Cash for Kids. So if you would like to make a donation to Cash for Kids, you can do that through our...
There's a link on the page.
Yeah, it's the link. It's obviously you're listening to us through our webpage, which is on www.plessycastle.com/radio, and there's a link straight through to Cash for Kids there. It's for the Just Giving page, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's our Cash for Kids page. So we'll have a look now, and we'll see how much money we've made on that show.
Mm-hmm.
This is always good fun to see how much money we've made, because last week. Well, the first time we actually did Night Owls, we did that for a few weeks, didn't we?
Yeah.
And we made, how much did we make? We only made £20, but it was great because we had listeners as well.
But every penny counts.
Every penny does count. It doesn't matter if we don't make a tremendous amount of money. Just knowing that you're listening, you're supporting us is fantastic. Now,
and it's just good crack on a Friday night.
It is. It's a good laugh, and it's great getting people's comments on the Facebook page as well. The only thing that worries me at times is, do we still have an internet connection?
We do.
We do. Oh, that's all right then.
Just this has got the virus thing running, I think, and it won't.
Oh, right. That's okay. That's the only thing, because we are using our computers to broadcast today. It's somewhat of at the mercy of our virus checkers, and we've switched off Windows updating because I had to do that because I was doing a disco when I first. This was 4 years ago when I first started doing discos, and. Suddenly, I'm playing music. I think I was playing All the Single Ladies by Beyonce, and everybody's dancing. I had a dance floor full of people. It was great. And then I looked at my computer screen and it said, Windows updating, restarting. And the computer switched itself off while everyone was dancing on the dance floor. That was an absolute nightmare. Well, Michelle's computer has crashed. Which is a shame, because we'll not be able to see how much we've made on that.
No, it's coming back.
Yeah, is it coming on now? There we go. Oh yeah, we've got Dawn Holmes. Dawn Holmes says, I had an Asian lady on the phone yesterday saying she was from Microsoft and my computer was performing slowly. Wanted to let me log into my PC. Wanted to let me log on to PC. I wouldn't tell you my response. Yeah, this is important. if somebody phones you up saying they're from Microsoft and you've got a problem with your PC, don't believe them. It's very important that you don't believe them, because they want to sell you something to fix your PC. That's what they're about. They're not from Microsoft either. Microsoft do not phone you up. It's important that you do that, and you can get loads of free programs to fix your PC as well. Now, if you do have problems with your PC, Malwarebytes is probably one of the most effective ones. It's free. And Avast, we've used that before, but I do find Malwarebytes gets the really difficult viruses if you ever do have them. If you get unwanted adverts on your computer as well, Malware and Avast are very good at trapping them. So make sure you've got that. That's Malwarebytes and Avast. What else we got on the Night Owls page? We've got quite a few people who've been coming on. So keep leaving our messages as well. We'll read your messages out. And don't forget as well, how much money have we made on the
£30, but with gift aid it's £37.50.
Wow, so if you've donated, we have made £30, but in total with gift aid we have made £37, which is fantastic. Now it's I will be doing the 10-mile Jelly Road race from Hexham to Ovington on Sunday, which will be the first thing I'll be doing. Also, I'll be doing the Great North Run on the Sunday after. That'll be the final run that I'll be doing. And that'll be to raise money for Cash for Kids as well. So the sponsorship that you'll be sponsoring me for will be for both runs. So it'll be for the 10-mile run and the 13.5-mile run that I'll be doing the week after. We'll do a YouTube video as well of me doing the runs.
Okay. And
we'll put them up for you. This isn't going to be the last broadcast we'll do completely.
No.
We won't be on next Friday because I'm at work. I'm doing a disco next Friday, but we will be doing some more in the weeks to come.
Maybe Halloween.
Well, Shell's thinking Halloween, but that is going to be the 31st of October, which is going to be 2 months away.
It comes faster. Really.
Yeah, I'm thinking what we'll probably do is do some more broadcasts between disco. So if I haven't got a disco on that Friday, we will do a broadcast and we'll try and build up a fan base. Now we will put on the Facebook page tomorrow exactly how many people were listening as well. I don't know if we'll be able to check it out now, see how many people are actually listening. Let me have a look. Yeah, we have got people. According to this, we've got 6, but I think
there's more people than that on Facebook.
Yeah, there's more people on Facebook than that. So we'll see anyway. Then that's what we're using for that is the YouTube. And of course it fluctuates every few minutes because as soon as somebody else joins with, the numbers go up and then they go down and then they go up. But that's on the YouTube. We have discovered as well, you can join us on the on YouTube. You can actually speak to us over YouTube, and that's called I'm not sure what it's called. But we're going to work out how that's done. But you can speak to us on YouTube if you don't want to speak to us on the phone. Well, I've got the phone, by the way. If you want to phone up tonight, please do and have a chat with me. You can just inbox us. Please don't put the number on the Facebook page because people can.
Well, I found out yesterday because I was emailing somebody on Facebook. And now all you have to do is press a button next to their name and it phones you. Phones them fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the only thing is I need to use the mobile phone because what we're going to be doing, if you phone up the show, or we phone you and get you on the show, we'll be plugging the mobile phone into a big speaker, into an amplifier, and talking to you using speakerphone.
Yeah.
And it'll sound fantastic. We've done it before in the past. We have had callers in the past, haven't we?
Yeah.
And it sounded wonderful. I was surprised it worked. It's amazing what you can do when you put some thought into it anyway. Anyway, let's get some more facts, shall we? Because you've done loads of research. I'm really quite impressed with the amount you've got here. Okay, let's do some factoids. 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 The oldest condoms ever found date back to the 1640s. They were found in a cesspit at Dudley Castle and were made from animal and fish intestines. Animals and fish intestines. That's it.
I'm just surprised they needed them in those days.
Yeah, I mean, like they're saying they're the oldest condoms ever found, the 1640s. Actually, no. The Egyptians had them, and they were made of sheep intestines, I think.
Right.
And we know that because it's on the Egyptian walls. Obviously, the sheep intestines have rotted away, but apparently that's what they used. And you never know, they might have been a little bit more comfortable than the rubber ones they make nowadays. I wouldn't know. The first American film to show a toilet being flushed on screen was Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho.
Ooh.
That was the first ever time that they'd seen a toilet flush on screen. That's interesting. The Romans used to clean and whiten their teeth using urine.
I know, that's disgusting.
So if you can't afford tooth whitening, just get yourself some whey, dip your brush in there and brush your teeth with that, and you'll get lovely white teeth. More than 50% of the people in the world have never made or received a telephone call. 50%? What do you think of that?
Yeah, and I bet you they're all old.
Yeah.
But then again, in some countries, they probably don't have telephones.
Yeah, true. If you sneeze too hard, you can fracture a rib.
And wet yourself.
Yeah, especially if you've had 3 bairns. I'm just saying. Anyway, psychopaths are dopamine junkies. Back to psychopaths. Psychopaths are dopamine junkies. Yeah. That means that's the feel-good stuff, isn't it? So, yeah, I mean, I think we all are, right? We all like to be happy. Here's another psychopath fact. Psychopaths have a poor sense of smell. That'll explain when they fart, they don't feel guilty. What's that scatomancy? Oh, I don't like this.
No,
I don't like the sound of that, mate. Scatoman.
Oh,
wait for this, Needles. Have you ever tried this? Caroline, if you're listening, you don't have to answer this. Scatomancy, or fortune telling through feces. The fortune teller analyzes the shape, texture, and even the smell of poo. Individual nuggets mean lending support to someone. Larger logs express strength and leadership. So Night Owls, next time, and I think
next time you go to the poo, go and have a poo, you have to look and see what it's like.
Yeah, have a look and see what it's like. Next time you go to the fair, is the fair still on at Harrington Park at Washington and Sunderland?
Not yet.
Is it finished now? That's a shame. Well, if you find a fair on anywhere, take a poo with you. If you haven't got a poo to take with you, just turn up at the fortune teller's caravan, squat across our fortune telling table, and just ask her to analyse your walnut whip. Oh, goodness me. That has to be made up. No, well, do you know what?
It's not.
Is that a fact?
Well, it's a fact.
That's a fact. They can do fortune telling with poo. 315 entries in Webster's dictionary will be misspelled. That's terrible, that.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Yes, there will be, because Webster's dictionary is an American dictionary.
Oh.
Yeah. And if you're British, everything in there is going to be misspelled. Almonds are a member of the peach family. Get out of here. Almonds are a member of the peach family. They're a nut.
No, they're a peach.
They're a seed, if they're an almond. If it's not a nut, it's a seed. But it's not a fruit. Come on. That can't be right. How did they come up with these anyway? Oh, hang on. We've got Michelle, me cousin here. Michelle, me cousin, says, "Hi, cuz, been out with Alan at Timemouth." Yes, you've been on a date tonight, haven't you? I saw this on Facebook before. Had a good night. But can you tell him to make me a coffee now? 'Cause he won't. Look, Alan, right, listen to this, right? She needs a coffee, right? She's been out with you all night. She needs to keep awake. Now, you never know, she might want to keep awake for something special. Alright, so make her a coffee. By the way, both of you, well done on the Ice Bucket Challenge. They both did extremely well on that, didn't they? We're up to factoids and psychopaths. Did you collate these as well? Okay, here you go. Psychopaths can't recognise fear. Well, they can't recognise any emotion in another person, can they? Walking corpse syndrome is a mental disorder in which patients experience delusions that they are dead, they do not exist, or are putrefying or have lost their vital organs. So this is what they imagine.
Yeah.
So that's walking corpse syndrome. So
that'd be awful to have that. Ooh.
Yeah, but it's a mental disorder in which patients experience delusions that they're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. It shouldn't really, unless they feel like they're walking around like a ghost and people can't see them. One of the cures for bubonic plague was to fart in a jar and smell it.
That is so funny.
I just, it baffles me that was a cure. Oh.
Well, it wasn't a cure. It didn't really help them, did it?
No, it didn't. Ancient Egyptians slept on a pillow made of stone. I could do that actually. Harder the pillow, the more comfortable I am. You know the pillows you got? Those ones that were memory foam. Awful. Don't like them. Bats always turn left when exiting a cave.
I'm going to watch Batman later and check.
Yeah. Every time Beethoven sat down to write music, he poured iced water over his head.
The first ice bucket challenge.
The first ice bucket challenge was Beethoven. Why did he do that?
Maybe to refresh himself and wake him up. Stimulate his senses.
Well, this is interesting because I believe ice water was once used for depression. Or for some kind of cure back in the olden days. Now, I did watch a film about Charles Darwin, who obviously came up with the theory of natural selection, evolution by natural selection, and according to this movie, he used to put ice water over his body to stave off. I'll have to find out what it was. I think it was some kind of depression or melancholy. It was melancholy, depression, ice water. Now, what ice water will do is release adrenaline. And perhaps that will kind of cheer you up, or at least make you feel less likely to lie in bed all day. Then again, if you've got depression, you don't want to go in a cold shower, are you? No piece of normal-sized paper can be folded in half more than 7 times. Have you tried that?
I haven't, no.
Yes, that's something I've actually counted before, but yet no, I have done that, and you can't. When cats are happy or pleased, they squeeze their eyes shut. Obviously, not a psychopath would notice that because they wouldn't be able to experience the empathy with the cat. That doesn't sound like a proper fact to me.
Well, I'm going to try it out tomorrow when I see Angie.
Oh, when you see Angie. Oh, right, okay then. Now then. Here's what I want you to do with me when I'm dead. What are you going to do with my body when I'm dead?
Well, you've asked us to take you up the top of a mountain.
Yep.
And dump you there so the goat can eat you.
No. That would be the Simon side, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Now, the Simon side...
But if I'm like 80 and have a Zimmer frame, I don't think I'll be able to do it.
Well, I did say that I wanted my ashes scattered on three hills,
yeah,
on 3 steep hills. And I had a list of people I wanted to climb to the top to see them scattered. Yeah.
That won't happen.
No, it won't. No. Probably not. You'll probably just tie us in the bin or something. Or just not pick up the ashes. Oh, no. Anyway, listen to this. When Glynis Barnett showed friends her new yellow diamond nestling in its jewellery box, they never failed to be impressed. People always say how sparkly it is and compliment me on its fabulous colour. They're so surprised when I tell them the diamond used to be my husband John. I paid £5,000 to have a laboratory turn his ashes into gem as a way to keep him close to me after he died. The ashes are heated to 1,300 Celsius until they become molten. Then they are compressed at 10,000 tons per square inch for several weeks until they form a diamond crystal, which is chemically indistinguishable from a natural stone. Because the chemical makeup of each person's ashes is unique, so is the size and clarity and precise colour of the stone that emerges. However, the natural colour of diamonds made from human ash is broadly canary yellow, due to the nitrogen content of the ashes. So it would be expensive to turn somebody into a diamond, though. That sounds like an expensive process.
Yeah, but it'd be nice because she can pass it down to her daughter, and her daughter can have her dad with her. And
yeah.
But it's.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people. It's got here as well that people have the ashes turned into different things as well. They have it put into the mixture. It must be put the ashes into a mixture of cement and then have the cement molded into a statue and say that statue is my husband or whatever like that. But This is one I quite like because I'm a painter. I'm not a painter, am I? I paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be better. Some people have the ashes put into paint.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have a painting made from that paint with the ashes in, and they can say, you know, that is something beautiful, that has been my loved one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, for £3,000 you can also have your ashes pressed into vinyl records.
Nobody will know what they are.
Yeah. But I mean, mixing it into paint, you could have
do that
paint.
yourself,
You wouldn't need anybody else to do that for you.
No.
You could just do that yourself. It's quite interesting that, though. It's a different way to do things.
Mm-hmm.
Now then, let me have a look inside my wonderful box. You've got so much information here. We had quite a mysterious thing put through a letterbox, didn't we? Now, we came back from Middlesbrough the other day. We were saying that we went to Albert Park, didn't we?
Yeah.
In Middlesbrough. That's the place with the teenage parking as well.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping the teenagers occupied.
Miles
away from the kiddies bit. But also, there was there's a lovely museum. It's free to get into at Albert Park at Middlesbrough. If you get the chance to visit it, do so, because it's got loads to see in there. Loads of the history of Middlesbrough as well. Really great place to visit, actually, Middlesbrough. I'm always fascinated when I go there. We also got photographs taken next to the courthouse, where the statue of the woman holding up two children who are fighting. But anyway, if you get your chance to go to Albert Park, go to the museum as well. Brilliant place. Anyway, we came home from the museum, and we found this posted through a letterbox, laminated, wasn't it? Laminated. And it says on it, top 4 funniest poems. So we're assuming that whoever's made this would like it read out Night Owls tonight. So here you are. Hey diddle diddle, the cat had a piddle. That's what it says. Hey diddle. Okay, this is the top funniest poems. Hey diddle diddle, the cat had a piddle. Poem 2. Hey lackey lackey, the cat had an ounce of baccy and it smelled really wacky. Okay. And we're down to number 3 here. Fiddler fiddler, the mouse had a Jimmy Riddler. We don't know who's posted this through our door, do we?
No,
we haven't a clue who's posted through our door. And for the final one, it says, hey Wilder Wilder, the cat... Oh no, hey Wilder Wilder, the cat had a tiddler. That doesn't rhyme.
No.
That doesn't rhyme. No, it doesn't. I know some funny poems, but I can't remember them. They might be rude.
Harrison wasn't stitches at your choo-choo train one.
Oh. I was reading them some... bedtime stories, and they've got kids' rhymes in, and so I just added a little bit to the end to make it a bit more funny, and he couldn't stop laughing. And it was that old one with... here it was, anyway. It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. He went to bed and he bumped his head and couldn't get up in the morning. He went to the toilet and flushed the chain, and out came a choo-choo train. And that was him just... that was him just on the floor laughing. That was him, absolutely hilarious, he thought. Anyway, let's have a look in here. What you got? Oh, I'm just looking at more of Michelle's information that she's been handing us. She's got absolutely loads of information.
That's everything on there.
That is everything on there, so I'm moving on.
Yep.
Because we've also got news articles and ghost stories as well. Let's have a look. Don't forget to leave your comments on the Facebook page, because it's nice to know that you're still there. The viewers as well have gone up. Apparently we've got 7 viewers according to that, but there's definitely more on the Facebook page. So we'll be able to give you a more accurate amount of people who was listening tomorrow, but we'll put that up, how many were listening as well. Don't forget as well, if you can make a donation to Cash for Kids on our Facebook page, you can go through the link there that we've got to Just Giving. Because I will be doing the 10 Mile Jelly Road race from Hexham to Ovingdon, and also the Great North Run the week after. So we're looking forward to that. People fooled by overconfidence. Check this out. People who are overconfident fool others into believing they are more talented than they really are, according to a new study completed in the Northeast. Do you know that? That's got to be true, but a lot of if you don't seem confident, let's say if you're not confident, okay, and you go in for an interview, and your lack of confidence comes across, then you're less likely to get through that job interview, aren't you?
Yeah, you will. Yeah.
Yeah, But if you come across really confident, it doesn't really matter if you know your stuff or not.
Mm-hmm.
You're more likely to get through that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just stands to reason. If some people just have the personality where they come across confident.
You need to put on that show though when you're going for certain stuff. You need to be confident.
Yeah, you do. You need to be able, because confidence inspires confidence, doesn't it? If somebody appears, well, let's say, you know, if somebody's doing first aid, for example, and they don't seem very confident,
mm-hmm.
or if somebody's doing a medical examination on you and they don't seem very confident, let's say they're a student, then that takes away confidence for you and it increases your stress, doesn't it? Anyway, researchers said that those with an inflated view of their own abilities are more likely to succeed at work and could partially explain the banking collapse and other disasters. These people are more likely to overestimate other people's talents and therefore take greater risks, according to the academics from Newcastle and Exeter universities. What's that saying? Is that saying people trust somebody who appears confident,
mm-hmm.
and that can lead to disaster? Yeah. The study said that those who underestimate their own skills are seen as less able than they actually are by colleagues. In the study, 72 students were asked to rate their own ability and the ability of their peers after the first day of their course. Of those 32 students, so this is students who are in college, and they're asked to rate the abilities of fellow students. Mm-hmm. Of those 32 students, about 45% were underconfident in their ability, as compared to the final mark, 29 students. 29 students, 40% were overconfident, and 15% were accurate in their assessment of their own ability. So what's that saying?
That's quite low, isn't it? You know.
Yeah. So only 15% were accurate in assessing their own ability. Is that right?
Uh-huh.
Whereas 40% were overconfident.
Mm-hmm.
That's massively dodgy.
But that reminded me of the X Factor that's coming up.
All right, yeah.
Because some people are so deluded and think they are the fantastic singers and they're the bee's knees, and they are so rubbish.
Oh yeah, I mean when you see them on the X Factor, some of them really do believe that they have the X Factor.
Yeah.
And not all of them are mad.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of them are mad. I mean, you do see the ones who are just completely deluded and they get annoyed with the judges when the judges tell them that they're no good.
Mm-hmm.
That's really entertaining seeing. So, but you also get the people who are nice and just accept the judges' criticism,
mm-hmm.
but they're totally deluded from the point of view that they haven't a clue how they sound.
Yeah, but you get the ones where their parents say, "Oh, you've got the best voice in the world. Go on, you need to go on there."
Yeah.
And just don't be cruel.
Yeah, but there's some parents really do genuinely believe that their son or daughter has got a wonderful voice.
Yeah.
They can be more deluded than the child themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting that. Anyway, there was a positive link between grades students predicted for themselves and the grades others predicted for them. In other words, students who predicted higher grades for themselves were predicted to have higher grades by others, irrespective of their actual final score. So there you are. So confidence. It can sometimes be delusional,
mm-hmm.
but to have confidence does increase your chances of success.
Yeah.
But if somebody has confidence and they're really crap,
mm-hmm.
it can result in disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose sometimes it just depends how well you can pull off false confidence.
Mm-hmm.
But people who pretend to be confident, I think could quite likely have more success just because they know they're pretending to be confident. They're winging it.
As long as they're not the psychopathic overconfident.
Oh yeah, now if they're psychopathic overconfident, that's different, isn't it? Archaeologists in the region are believed to have unearthed the only wooden toilet seat to be found in Rome in the Roman Britain Empire.
Mm-hmm.
A wooden toilet seat. The find was made at Vindolanda in Hadrian's Wall in Northumberland. We are absolutely delighted with the find. The seat has survived because of a fantastic preservation conditions on the site. St Vindolanda Director of Excavations, Dr. Andrew Bertley. The seat was discovered by Dr. Bertley in the deep pre-Hadrianic trenches at Vindolanda. There are many examples of stone and marble toilet seats and benches across the Roman Empire, but this is believed to be the only surviving wooden seat almost perfectly preserved in the oxygen-free conditions which exist in Vindolanda. Now, that's really exciting, I suppose, but there's something kind of, I don't care.
No, I don't.
You know, we know that the Romans used toilets. They found a wooden toilet seat. Oh, okay, right.
We knew they had it, so.
Yeah, it's you know, I know it's wonderful, Rome and Britain, but when you go and visit places, and for me, I think Hadrian's Wall and all the things we have in Northumberland regarding the Romans are fantastic, really great, but they're not exploited as well as they should be. A lot of these visitor centres are terribly boring, and you've got to pay a fortune to go and visit them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, come on, lads, if you want to make money, don't charge daft prices for disappointing stuff. I know it should be exciting, but there's tons of it in the area. If you want to make money, here's my advice. Do you know what my advice is?
What?
Charge £1 per person to get in.
Mm-hmm.
You see, people like us, if we say it's a £5 to get in, or even £3.50 per person, we'll walk away.
Yeah, because it's £5.
Because we've seen it before. But if it's just £1,
yeah,
we'll go in. Now, you think about the amount of families who come along and say, oh, it's just £1. We'll go in. They would make a fortune.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, get your head screwed on. Learn from Wetherspoons. Wetherspoons, they lowered the prices. Look, they're the biggest franchise in the country. That's what I'm talking about. So if you want to come and see your toilet seat, lower the prices of your Vinderlander. No, here you are. North East Supermarket. A North East Supermarket has donated its old crockery and cutlery to a local food bank.
Mm-hmm.
Now, food banks, they're something that, you know, has only popped up during the Tory government.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, we never had food banks before that.
No.
And why do I have them? It's because people aren't getting the pay rises that they need. Now, I'm a bit of a lefty, I'll be honest with you, but I don't like to see people badly off. If you've got working families, they should have enough money to live on, but they don't. They've got to go to food banks. Shocking, Mr. Cameron, get that sorted out. After being issued with an all-new equipment in their customer restaurant at the Newstead's Drive store in Monkseaton, Sainsbury's staff decided to give their old crockery and cutlery to Bay Food Bank in Whitley Bay. So there's a food bank in Whitley Bay. Now, come on.
Whitley Bay, you would have thought it was too affluent to have that problem.
You would think in Whitley Bay it would be too affluent, but there's not. They've got to have a food bank.
Mm-hmm. We've got two.
Where? In Cramlington?
Yeah.
So there's 2 food banks in Cramlington.
Mm-hmm.
This is a disgrace. This is a disgrace to Britain that people have to go to food banks.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, a lot of the people are working who have to get this, and it's a choice between getting petrol for the car or being able to provide food for your family.
Yeah.
But if you don't put petrol in the car,
can't get to work.
You can't afford to go. You can't go to work.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no choice. You've got to put petrol in the car.
Yeah.
And then you haven't got money for food, so you've got to have the humiliation of going to a food bank. It's a disgrace to this country that the Tories have created this poverty. Guess what?
What?
They'll not be getting my vote this year or next year. Anyway, so well done to them for donating all the cutlery to that. Store manager Roger Thompson said, "We are always very pleased to be able to help local causes such as Bay Food Bank we have worked closely with for the past few years." And you know, there's a good chance that some of their own employees could use that. I'm not saying that they do, but there's a good chance because people are on low wages nowadays. Absolutely low wages. I know carers who are on minimum wage.
Mm-hmm.
Minimum wage, and they have to go to different houses to care for people, to give them their tablets, cook them meals, and go to the next one. And the people who employ them don't even give them the petrol money.
Yeah.
Come on, these are the backbone of society. People who are looking after, you know, your granny, you know, the sickest people in the country, and we're allowing them to be paid minimum wage. That is just diabolical. Anyway, a toilet roll maker has donated thousands of rolls to a Newcastle homeless charity. Proto-based SCA, which manufactures a velvet brand of toilet tissue, has for the second year supported the People's Kitchen on Bath Lane near St James's Park by giving it thousands of personal care tissue products. That's great.
I think that's nice.
I do, because people don't always really, you know, that's the last thing you think of, but actually that's quite expensive stuff.
It is.
Toilet paper? My goodness me.
Food, because they get all the food donated from supermarkets and stuff anyway. But you don't think about all the essential stuff like
Oh,
that.
of course, but the Tories would probably say, well, why don't you get old newspapers and wipe your bum with that?
Papers are expensive.
Yeah, but I tell you what, I would use some Tory manifesto rubbish that's put through me door, and I'll be voting for them. After a meeting with volunteers last year, we were both humbled and inspired by their dedication to help people struggling in difficult and often desperate situations. Hazel Noble, who leads SCA's charity committee at Prudhoe Mill, said, SCA is committed to helping people lead dignified lives. This means providing access to essential everyday products, which is why we continue to support the vital work of the People's Kitchen. We are pleased to have been able to assist such a worthwhile cause and hope fully to encourage more local businesses to do the same. The People's Kitchen was set up in 1985 and recently won the Queen's Award for Voluntary Services, the equivalent to an MBE, and the highest honour it could achieve in the field. That's brilliant. And you know, well done all the volunteers there as well, because there is people there who are suffering tremendous poverty. It's
nice to know people are helping each other now.
Yeah. But I get my high horse about this, I really do. Yeah. 3 up for a Great British Pub Award. 3 of the North East's top pubs are set to go head-to-head against the best of Britain after being named the region's winners at the Great British Pub Awards 2014. So which pubs are these? 100 pubs from across the country will vie for national titles across 17 categories, including Best Cask Beer, Best Community Pub, Best Food Pub, and even Best Loos.
You can always tell a good pub if it's got nice clean loos.
I tell you who's got the best loos. Wetherspoons. Every time I go into Wetherspoons, I'm impressed by the loos. Doesn't matter which Wetherspoons you go to, I walk into the loos and I'm awe-inspired by not only their cleanliness but also their decor. And it is my pleasure and privilege to have a wee there. So there we are.
But the local ones are...
What are the local ones? Let's have a look.
Them ones there.
Right. North Shields, the State House, formerly the Dolphin. So that's at North Shields. I've never been there.
No.
It's up for the best turnaround pub prize after being taken over by MasterChef.
Ooh.
The professional finalist John, is it Carlton? And the South Causey Inn near Stanley. Oh,
I've never been there, but I've always wanted to. And
South Causey Inn, I think I've driven past there a few times.
it's a lovely big one.
Is it? Oh, where is it? Near Stanley.
Causey and Beamish.
Oh, it'll be near Causey Arch then.
Yeah.
That's a great place to visit, Causey Arch. Is that the one with a big green pitch in front of it? It's got a little kids park in it. As we drive on the way to Beamish? No? Where is it? Oh, it's on the road, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that the one on the road?
Uh-huh.
I would never been to it, but we want to go to it. Well, we're visiting now. Normally we go up to Beamish Hall because it's great at Beamish Hall. We get the best cheese board at Beamish Hall. Here's my advice to you: if you're going to go to Beamish Hall, get a cheese board, get a beer, and also get a selection of breads.
Mm-hmm. And the other pub is a one in Newcastle.
What is it?
It's a Bridge Tavern.
The Bridge Tavern. I don't think I've been to that.
I've never been to any of those.
No. What's your favourite 3 pubs then?
We only ever go to Wetherspoons or Wetherspoons.
Yeah, that's true. We do, but if you were to say...
Mind you, today I went back to the Wetherspoons, the Mile Castle in Newcastle.
Oh yes.
Because I do like that one. That was nice.
Which one's that one? Is that the one with all the rooms, or is that the other one? They've all got rooms.
They've all got rooms.
Yeah. They're next to each other, though, aren't they?
Yeah, one's at one side of the church, one's at the other. That one. This one was the one on the corner.
Yeah?
Don't know, just in the tune.
Aye, it's not far from the... Yeah, anyway, so you like the Wetherspoons ones, anyway.
Aye.
My favourite pubs, right? Okay, you've got the Wetherspoons...
This was the Mile Castle, because I do like that one. It's lovely and airy inside.
Right, my favourite ones are... in number 3, we've got... It might be the Mile Castle. It's the one we went to last week. In Newcastle. It's not the one with all the different rooms, so... Not that one. I do like that, but it's the one just up from it.
The one where kids aren't allowed to go in certain rooms. Or...
You've got 3 floors.
Got 3 floors in all of them.
No. It's the first one we went to and had 3 floors like a library bit.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
What's that one?
The Mile Castle.
That's the Mile Castle. Okay, the Mile Castle is my 3rd favourite one. 2nd favourite one would be, if I was to go to a pub, think I do like. I think there's one out. Yes.
Like the beehive. The beehive's lovely with a garden, the beer garden.
Yeah. Well, no.
But
I like
nice
if you've got kids and you take the kids to the beehive, that's great. But when we went to the beehive, I didn't like the savoury hatch.
I wouldn't go inside. But if you're sitting outside in a lovely hot day.
It was to get the ones to take away. But I did get the strong cider from the beehive, and it nearly knocked us out. It must have been about 9%. It was beautiful. But my second favourite pub, anyway. Oh, I was about to tell you, and oh yes, that would be Beamish. That would be Beamish. But my first.
That's not really a pub.
It is a pub attached to it, isn't it? Okay then. Second favourite pub then. Here you are. The Ox, near Wallington. It's in a little place called Middleton, but it's actually in Northumberland.
With an outdoor toilet.
It's got it's beautiful. It's got an outdoor toilet. If you go into Bowlam Lake and you're driving up towards Scott's Gap, look for the sign that says Middleton and take it. And it's a pub's called the Ox. It's got 2 rooms. It's got kind of a pool room, and it's got would be a bar. And it's got an outside toilet, and the people there are really friendly, but it's so traditional. I absolutely love it. It's gorgeous. Just go there for the experience. But my favourite pub is the one I go to all the time, which is the Plough in Cramlington. That's because I go there for the quiz.
That's because you go there.
I go there every week. Yeah, it is. But Fitzgerald's actually...
You see, I'm not keen on it. Well, I do like it, but I think they should serve coffee and food.
They do?
Since when?
Do they not serve coffee?
No.
They do, man.
They don't.
I would like them to, because it is a Fitzgerald's.
They used to, but they don't now.
Well, Fitzgerald's, they do serve brilliant food, but maybe the food wasn't very popular there. Maybe not many people wanted food. But Fitzgerald's, which is the franchise that Plough's with, when they do food, it is gorgeous. What's your favourite Fitzgerald's?
Ridley Arms, of course.
Ridley Arms in Stannington is my favourite Fitzgerald's for food.
Yeah.
Definitely. The food is absolutely gorgeous. So if you've got time, get yourself there. That's got a really nice atmosphere as well, hasn't it? The Ridley Arms in Stannington. Anyway, what time's it now? Do you know it's 12:01? We've actually come to the end of the show. Anyway, have we raised any money? Let's have a look. Have we raised any money? Lumley Castle Library bar is spooky as hell, especially if you have pie eyes. Now this is interesting. This is from Dave.
There all the time.
Dave, you're right. This is from Dave Scobie Patterson. Mentions Lumley Castle Library bar. We went there last week, didn't we? It was absolutely brilliant. Or maybe that would be my first favourite one, because I love it there.
I like any castle for a pub.
Yeah, because Lumley Castle is fantastic. It's just so posh and just so lovely, and I just love it.
You just can't take kids?
Well, you can't take our kids. You can take your kids. Your kids are quite welcome there, aren't they? But our kids are just difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, they misbehave a bit, but
on purpose.
Yeah, try and embarrass you, because you try to be posh when you're there, but it's a lost cause. But Lumley Castle, absolutely adore it. Quite right, Dave. Also, the other castle I like going to, although it's not always open to the public because it gets hired out for weddings and things. But that one is it Langley Castle? On the way to it's past Hexham.
Yeah.
Is it Langley? That's great. You walk up the steps. That's haunted.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. I think Alan Robson did a show there one night as well. But that's true. Anyway, we've come to the end of the show. Let's see if we've raised any money for Cash for Kids. Just have a refresh that Cash for Kids page. Here you go, Shell. Is now refreshing the Cash for Kids page. And we've still got £30. That's still good. We're still pleased with that, because that's going to be £37 once we get once they get the reclaim the tax, isn't it? Have we had another message there?
That's a lovely one.
Yeah.
I know Stu's wife, Mrs. mentioned the one before, but I can't find it on the page anymore.
Yeah, Nicola. Yeah.
Down at the Quayside. That's probably the one that we went in. And
right, that's the one that Stu.
Fabulous spot in that one.
Is that the one? The one on the Quayside? Because Stu took us there. Was it last year or the year before? Is Stu made a message there?
Yeah, but I can't find it.
Up. On the Quayside. And it's like a really oldie worldy pub.
Diagon Alley, that's what we
it is like a Diagon Alley. it's just so nice to go in, and it's got like a low wooden roof, and it's great to go in for a chat. And it's got a big window so you can see the cars going by because you're right next to the quayside. Fantastic place to go. Yeah, and so that's right. So just have a look to see if we've got all the comments read out as well. I'll just have a check of that. Get hold of there. If I can get my computer to work, which it won't.
Use your arrows.
Yeah, there we go. So I'm just going to go through everything, make sure I've read. Oh, hang on. Stu's mentioned, he says, read John Johnson's The Psychopath Test if you haven't done that yet. So yes, that is a good book. Actually, I was going to buy that. I sat and looked at that in Weatherstones. Is it Weatherstones?
Yeah.
In Waterstones for ages. I was going to buy that book because it looked fantastic. And I think I sat for an hour waiting for you because you were clothes shopping. I thought, you were going somewhere with the kids. And had a good read through it. That is a good book.
Mm-hmm.
Well recommended, that book as well. So here we are. Thank you to everybody who's took part tonight. And just refresh that, making sure that we're getting everybody's final comments anyway.
Tracy's gone to bed, so night to Tracy.
Night, Tracy. We'll see you again in a few weeks' time. Now, don't forget, everybody, we have been collecting for Cash for Kids tonight, so if you can, please make a donation. We'd really appreciate it if you do that. We have appreciated everybody's comments tonight. We have loved your support as well. We will be keeping you updated throughout the week on my progress on the 10-mile jelly run, which I'll be doing on Sunday. I'll also be putting up a video as well of that. Also, we won't be doing a broadcast next Friday, unfortunately, because I'm going to be doing a disco. But I will be doing the Great North Run. I will be in the orange section. If you see me, give me a wave. I'll be waving at Alan Robson, but I doubt you'll see us. But give us some support anyway for that as well. Good luck or anything like that on the Night Owl page. And we will be returning in a few weeks' time. So thank you, everybody, again for all your support. And I hope to see you all again very soon. Keep in touch, everyone.
I'm going home. Ciao, baby. That's all, folks.